chariot, kyungye, taekwon. Welcome to our next taekwondo tutorial. Today, unlike all the other tutorials we have recorded earlier, we will focus only on technical elements for the next pattern. We will not go through the entire class. We will only practice elements which are necessary for 6th pattern, Joong Gun, and we will learn the pattern Joong Gun. This is the first blue belt patterns for you to practice at home. I do believe that you know how to warm up yourself, so please prepare your joints, prepare your muscles for the training. You need to do some stretching, you need to do some warm-up exercises, just like we would normally do at the class. I have done already my warm-up, so let's proceed to the techniques. Pattern Joong Gun begins with the new stance. We know Moasogi from Wonyo, where we keep feet together and hands are closed, right hand in the fist, the other one is placed on top of the fist in front of the mouth. In Joong Gun, we will use a variant B of Moasogi, which looks like so. We have hands at your navel height, slightly moved forward. This is our ready position for Joong Gun. The first technique and the new technique at the same time will be reverse knife hand, outward block. This is technique very similar to Anpalmokmaki, middle block, except that we open the hand and we use reverse knife hand. This is knife hand, Sonkal. For our purpose, for Joong Gun, we will use reverse knife hand, Sonkal Dung. And we will do it in stance Ninja Sogi. Let's perform a couple of times. Hana. Tul. We start from the chest. We prepare cross in front of the chest with the blocking hand under the other one. And we end up with the fingertips at your shoulders height. Remember to keep body weight on the back leg and maintain good line from the front toe to the back heel. Net. Yasot. Yosot. Ilgop. Yodel. Ahop. Yo. Paro. Very good. The next technique, kind of new, but not so much, will be a side front snap kick. Low side front snap kick. Snap kick, front snap kick is, as we know it, apchabushigi. In Joong Gun, we will use variant where our foot, stationary leg, is not turned towards the direction of the kick, but it turns sideways. So from here, we'll kick to the side while our knee and toes point forward. That's why it is called side front snap kick. Let's do it from L stance, just like we would do in the pattern Joong Gun. So let's take Ninja Sogi, and without rotating, without moving anything, we just bring knee up as high as you can, and we perform kick to the hips height. Let's go. Hana. Tul. Set. Net. Tasot. And switch sides. Hana. Tul. Set. Net. Tasot. Paro. The next technique is called Sonbadak Olyomaki. Sonbadak means palm, open palm. And we perform it in the circular motion, drawing the hand down below the hips, almost extended, and lifting it up. Imagine like you would be playing a beach ball. A big beach ball which you slap upwards. We'll use Sonbadak part, and we rise the hand towards the solar plexus height. We will do it also in the new stance. The new stance is called Twig Balsogi, rear foot stance. That means that We don't go with the foot as far as we would use for L stance. We keep it much closer. The length of tweed balsogi is as much as our width of naranisogi. So basically one shoulder's wide, or one shoulders long in this case. Entire body weight stays on the back leg, the knee is bent, foot is slightly turned forward, and the front leg is just gently touching the floor with ball of the foot. The foot is turned about 20-25 degrees inward, and this is our tweed balsogi. Okay? We'll do this with the Sonbadak Olyomaki. I will perform forward. Please remember that here we have circular preparation. That means that we don't take the hand backwards in the straight line, but we draw a small circle, and then we raise the hand to the block. Let's go. Hana. Tul. Set. Net. Remember about rotation. When we prepare, we keep the back fist up, and then during the block, we turn the hand palm upwards. Net. That's all. The other hand pulls back towards the hips, opposite direction to the hand. Yosot. Ilgop. Yodel. Ahop. Yo. Paro. The next new technique in our pattern will be upwards elbow strike. We call it Vipalkup Terigi, and we will perform it in walking stance. Vipalkup Terigi is a straight elbow strike upwards. We will use it with the opposite side. So when we step with the left, we strike with the right elbow up. Up in this case means that we finish the elbow at the height of the philtrum. This is our elbow strike. 1, 2. Let's practice. Hana. Tul. The other hand pulls opposite direction. Set. Net. We keep body full facing, so we don't rotate too much, just straight forward. Dasot. Yosot. Ilgop. Yodul. Ahop. Yo. Paro. Very well. The next new technique in Joong Gun is Sang Sevo Chirugi. Sang Sevo Chirugi is a vertical punch. We are using both hands and we are aiming to one target. You can imagine striking here sides of the jaw or cheeks. We will do it also in a walking stance. We start hands in front of the chest, we pull them back in the backwards motion, 1, and we throw both hands forward. We leave hands slightly bent at the end of the technique. 1, 2. 1, 2. Net. Dasot. Yosot. Ilgop. Yodel. Ahop. Yo. Paro. Well done. The next technique, the next new technique, will be Sang Dwijibun Chirugi. That is double or twin upset punch. Now again, we'll perform it in a circular motion. We bring both hands in front of the abdomen and we draw 2 circles with both hands, arriving at the end towards the hips, and then from here we go forward with rotating of the wrist and going slightly outside. This is attack to 2 targets. Therefore, hands are not too much towards each other, but they are slightly outwards. We will do it also in walking stance. 준비. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷. And also make sure that the hands end around the solar plexus height. We don't strike downwards, we strike forward. 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. 바로. Correct. The next technique is kyocha jumuk chukyo maki. We know chukyo maki from tangun, for example. In Joong Gun, we will use both hands. So we'll start a little bit different, and we go with both hands up, slightly forward. Now, first I will demonstrate this technique, and then I will explain step by step. We start from the low preparation position. And from the low preparation position, just like you would keep your hands almost in chariot sogi, we draw a small L letters with hands. So hands cross around the chest height and then travel together to around the forehead height. We do not take hands in the straight line. We draw them together and then rise both hands upwards. One and upwards. We need to end up slightly above the forehead. Let's practice. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. 바로. Relax. Good. And the next technique. The next combination, actually, in Joong Gun is a little bit complicated. It is a combination which is using a self-defense element together with traditional punches. We'll have three techniques combined in one sequence. The back fist strike, which is not a new technique. However, in Joong Gun, we use L stance for this. This is back fist strike, just like we have in Tosan, but here we use L stance. And now from this position, imagine that your hand is being held by two hands very strongly. The self-defense element is releasing from this grab. The way we do it, we will relax a little bit the other hand and push it forward. We will use it also as preparation for the punch right after the release. And then with one strong, very dynamic movement, we shift body forward. We switch stance to walking stance. We pull hand down as strong as we can. And as we pull this hand down, we start the punch. So the release and the punch come in a fast motion manner. I will demonstrate in two directions and then we will practice. As exception from the general rule where we have to do the backwards motion, this element, the releasing technique, we do without backwards motion, simply because the characteristic, because of the situation, we cannot have the relaxation, we cannot take time to prepare the next technique. So we do it in the very aggressive, very strong manner, right away from here, without backwards motion, without the sine wave, until the point where we prepare for the punch. And this is where we use sine wave and the whole, our taekwondo principle of generating power. Let's practice this. 하나, Tul. Set. Net. Remember that walking stance is longer than L stance. Therefore, for the release, we shift leg forward. We rotate and we shift leg to walking stance, to gunnosogi. That's out. Yes out. Ilga. Yodu. And relax. Practice more. This is a very difficult element. Practice that your releasing and preparation of the punch come in one well-synchronized movement. Otherwise, you will have problems with correct sine wave and execution of the punch. The next technique is not new. We know it from Yulgok. We do Dupalmok Maki, twin forearm block, and then we will switch very naturally into L stance front hand punch. Ninja so kaunde bande chirugi. We will go through the sequence. Hana. Tul. Hana. Tul. Hana. Tul. Hana. Tul. Hana. Tul. Hana. Tul. Paro. Here in this case we need to remember that we must pull the leg back. This is not fast motion, this is a normal motion. That means switching from one stance to another one, we have to perform a backwards motion, sine wave, and everything what we normally do with the regular steps. The next technique, again, it's not a new one, but it's a kick which normally in the patterns we haven't had done this way yet. It's a side kick performed from the back leg. Right after the punch, we will go one, and then we drop to the next technique, to the next twin block. Let's just focus on, now for the practice, on the yopchagi, on the side kick, performed from the back leg. Remember, you must turn your standing foot, you must turn the body to the side, bring the knee as high as you can, and then we extend directly to the target in the straight line. Avoid mistake when you bring knee forward and then you have only knee extension. Let's practice just the kick. Hana. Tul. Set. Net. Tassot. Yosot. Ilgo. Paro. And relax. This is old technique. We don't need to practice. We don't need to learn as a new one. You need to practice though. The next technique, it is also quite complicated. It is called Sonbadak Nullomaki, and it is performed in Joong Gun in low stance. Low stance is a new stance for you, and it looks very similar to walking stance, but it is 1 foot longer. So if your normal walking stance is 1.5 shoulders between toes, we move foot one foot further. We maintain the same alignment, the same body distribution, and this will give us low stance, nachuo sogi. If this is our walking stance, this will be our low stance. Back leg straight, 20 degrees, foot turned, knee slightly bent, toes forward, chest forward. The technique we will perform will be done in a slow motion manner in Joong Gun, and That blocking hand performs a straight movement downward with slight rotation. Again, just like at the beginning of the pattern, we will use palm. The other hand will do the counter movement. That means that while blocking hand goes down, the counter movement hand goes up. I will perform, and then we'll practice. We start with the relaxed hands, do the backwards motion, and then slowly we shift forward, performing the block. Our hand is slightly turned outside, and it's in the normal position as you would have low block, Najun Demaki, at the shoulders line, slightly below the belt. The other hand is placed in the very similar position as we did Sonbadak Olyomaki at the beginning of the pattern. That means the palm is at the solar plexus, and we just finish in the same line here. None of these hands is moved forward. Important information about the blocking hand is that your wrist must be straight, so we don't press this way. We keep elbow about 15 degrees bent. So wrist straight, elbow bent. Let's practice. Slow motion. Maintain body weight on the back leg and slowly shift forward, transferring towards the block. Hana. 1, 2, set, net, as you can see, it is not easy to move foot forward. Make sure that you keep body weight as much on the back leg as you can. And for the shift, you can turn a little bit foot on the side to limit the friction. So just side of your foot is shifting on the floor. Dasat. Yasat. Ilgap. Yodu. Paro. The next technique in our pattern will be Abjumuk Kyokcha Chirugi. This technique is a short range technique which looks similar to a boxing hook a little bit, where we approach target from the side. We finish the technique at the chest line and slightly below the shoulder. We come from the side, both hands performing the movement, relaxation in front of the chest, and we go slowly to the target. In Joong Gun, we also do it in a slow motion. Practice. Hana. Tul. Set. Net. Dasat. Yasat. Ilgap. Yadu. Ahop. Yo. And the last technique in our new pattern is called Tiguchia Maki. This is a U-shaped block, and this technique we perform with the arch of the hands. It is, again, a little bit complicated technique, but that's time to learn. We will use it, for this technique we will use fixed stance. The stance which is just one width of the foot longer than L stance, and body weight is distributed 50-50. I will perform it slowly, and then we will do with the full speed, full normal range. We prepare hands in front of the chest. We draw both hands opposite direction, like you would be holding something in your hands, and then we throw both hands towards the target, which is here in front of us. Both hands are stuck on top of another one. Forearms are almost in the parallel line towards each other. We need to open the hands expose the arch of the palms. Let's do. Hana. Tul. Set. Net. Dasot. Yosat. Ilga. Yodel. Ahop. Yol. Hana. Paro. So, we have all the techniques necessary for our pattern. Let's then start with the pattern. We begin Joong Gun in Moasogi B. And the first three techniques are reverse knife hand, anmaki, middle block, front leg, low, side, front snap kick. We put foot down, we take step with the other leg, and we perform Sonbadak Olyomaki, upwards block. And then we turn to the other direction. We repeat. 1, 2, down, both hands in the front, circular motion, 3. We move forward to L stance, knife hand guarding block. From here, we move foot half of the stance back for the backwards motion, and we perform elbow strike, upwards elbow strike. We repeat L stance and the elbow strike to the other side. Set, net. We step forward with Sang Sevo Chirugi. Dasot. We step forward with Sang Dwijibun Chirugi. Yosot. And we turn around for Kyocha Jumuk Chukyomaki. We pivot like in Tosan, bringing foot 1 foot closer to the center of the stance. Rotate. And we do with the rising block. From here, we step back to the side with the left leg. We do back fist strike. Then we do the releasing motion and the punch in the fast motion. 1, 2. We move foot to foot, and we go the same to the other direction. 1. Then we do the releasing technique and the punch. 2. We bring right foot to the left foot. We move left forward to walking stance, twin forearm block. Dupalmok maki. Set. We move the front leg a little bit closer. Then we change stance to the L stance with the punch. Side kick and Dupalmok maki. That's it. And again, we switch to the L stance with the punch. Side kick and L stance, guarding block. Now slowly we go for Sonbadak Nullomaki. 1. We step forward, the other side, guarding block. 2. Now we bring left foot to the right. Slowly we perform the angled punch and one side and the other side. Paro. Joong Gun. This was our Joong Gun. I will perform the whole pattern. Joong Gun tool. Chumbi. C. Track. Joong Gun. Paro. Shio. This is our whole Joong Gun. First blue belt pattern. Please don't waste your time. If you have some time during the holiday or in between our classes, practice. You will get better faster and you can progress into the higher level a lot more efficiently. Thank you for the time, thank you for your attention, and I hope to see you at the class. Chariot, Kyungye, Taekwon.